Yeah.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Talkies.
Yay.
Brought to you by delicious Guayaki organic brand yerba mate.
You know, I was
That's
looking
true.
at some of our older episodes.
They forgot to send me a can.
They did.
Jerks.
I took a look at one of our older episodes of Talkies when Guayaki used to sponsor us. That was a very strange
That was
time.
a good time.
Yeah,
That's
that
strange.
Guayaki money was great when they paid us all that money to sponsor
All that money.
Yeah.
For our 2
For
views
our
per
placement.
episode.
Yeah. What can I say? What can we say? We are influencers.
We're big names in the designer energy drink world.
We're huge, yeah.
Yeah, huge names.
Yeah.
Huge names.
Huge.
Anyway.
We watched a movie.
I hope we did. We're not
Yeah,
watching
I
them
think
together, so there's
We
no
all
way
saw it.
Let's all say the movie that we watched all together. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Apollo
Emma.
13.
Okay, see.
What'd you watch?
I watched Emma.
Oh, what'd you watch?
I watched this guy's first movie.
That's a movie?
Dark Rainbow.
Oh, I want to see that.
Did you watch Dark Rainbow?
No, I haven't. I actually do want to see it though.
Yeah, I want to see that.
wanna see it.
Yeah, we watched Mandy.
Oh yeah, I also checked that out.
Yeah, I did too.
Right, yeah, there was that too. Yeah.
All right.
So,
Boy,
Hot takes? First impressions?
You want to hear my hot take?
yeah, I would
Go,
love to
Kenny,
hear
go.
your hot take.
I adore everything about this movie. This was a perfect movie for me. I
Thank you.
loved it. Like,
Amazing.
Thank you.
100% adore this film.
Thank you. Me too. Yeah, I was watching this. I was like, this is me, dude.
Yeah.
Like, man, this is my language.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
play. What did D think of the movie? Ready?
Okay.
Probably hated it.
I'm going to
Would-
say
would
you
you
were
rate?
like split. I'm going to
Probably
say you
loved
were
it, probably
split on
hated it.
this.
You're gonna say both, Dave.
Yeah.
You loved it. You definitely hated it. Definitely.
Probably hated it. Probably loved it.
I absolutely loved everything about this movie.
Okay.
Oh,
sweet.
good.
Awesome. Sweet. Now we can.
There
Now
are
we can
many
discuss.
aspects of this
Yeah.
that felt like a very dark version of our vision for a hole in the universe,
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
including a
That's crazy.
dinosaur in the woods. That was kind of
Yeah.
wacky. Spoilers for a movie we haven't made yet.
Yeah.
I got one thing to say about this movie, and that's everything leading up to watching this movie and everything I knew about this movie going into it, which was I never knew what the plot was. I knew Nicolas Cage was in it, and then I knew it had some buzz, that it was kind of crazy, and I knew of this one image that I had seen from the movie, and that image is this right here.
Yes.
Whenever I think of Mandy for the past 2 years since it came out, it's this face right here.
Yeah.
And ever since I saw this, I was like, I gotta see this movie. Just from that image alone, I was like, I gotta see it.
Yeah.
It's a must see.
That's awesome. I love that shot too.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that you liked it, D.
Oh yeah, man. I was in love when I the first 5 minutes I was in love.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
The only thing that I knew about this movie is that, like you said, Nicolas Cage was in it, and I heard it was supposed to be somehow artistic, so I was expecting a little bit of that. And the only image I saw was the movie poster, which is not as crazy as the one that you showed, but it is him covered in blood.
Right.
And that's all I knew about it. And it was weird because I watched what was the one, Color Out of Space, recently. And it was strange because I saw a lot of stuff that they took from either this movie and put in there or that movie and put in here. But they had a lot of similar aspects. I thought that was interesting.
Mandy came long before.
Long before. Okay.
Yeah.
So there
And
was
in
some
fact,
stuff that was copied.
One of the criticisms of Color Out of Space that I've heard in multiple places was that they're trying to rip off Mandy.
And it's a terrible ripoff for them. Yeah.
That makes me hate that movie, and I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, this movie got a ton of buzz out of Sundance. It was a midnight screening, and it was all that year. It was all everyone talked about. It was like craziest midnight screening that we've had in a long time. So where to begin?
I don't even know.
I have a list of adjectives.
Adjectives. We've just been reduced to single word impressions. Okay.
Yeah. And I use adjective a little loosely. It's also terms. Okay, so we got.
Did you go to school?
No, I didn't. This movie reminded me of so much stuff.
Yeah.
Lynchian. I got heavy David Lynch vibes.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah. And then, of course, the revenge component made me think of some of Tarantino's stuff, but he's kind of more. That's kind of still a response to like a genre of revenge movies, and that's kind of what this is, and that kind of leads into.
He's a revenant.
Grindhouse.
He is a revenant.
Yes.
This is a revenant story.
Yes.
This is great for Grindhouse. This is a perfect Grindhouse movie.
Yeah, so Grindhouse. This is like equal parts Lynch, Grindhouse, psychedelic 80s horror.
Yeah.
It's esoteric.
Super.
There's the cult in it, and also heavy metal, dude.
Yeah.
This movie, heavy metal.
Okay. Metal AF, this movie.
Yeah.
That's something that ran through my head while I was watching the movie. I was like, dude, this is Doom. This is the embodiment of Doom.
The freaking battle axe.
Yeah, it's crazy,
dude. Up until then, like the whole, I feel like Doom. Have either of you guys seen that movie?
I haven't seen Doom.
The really shitty video game remake, Doom. Not game remake. The shitty movie remake of the game. Yeah, The Rock. A bad movie, but this movie was completely Doom. I really wish they had done something like this. It was amazing. And I have some comments on the structure, but and until we get to that, unless you want to talk about it
now. Well, go for it, dude. Just go for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it. I thought the structure was really surprising. There was as soon as I started watching, I was like, oh, okay, so it's like a Taken kind of thing where they're going. We have our people that we're following, our heroes, him and his girlfriend Mandy. We have the crazy cult, and then we have the turn of events where the girl gets killed, and now he's on a revenge scheme. I'm like, okay, so it's basic John Wick, Revenant, all that kind of stuff. But it didn't really happen that way afterwards. Like he wasn't just on a revenge from then on. I mean, he was, but he kept running into more snags and more things that kept slowing him down. And it was weird because it felt like every battle that he had with a person then was like had its own conflict, which was actually really cool because I think it was like narratively structured like a novel, more like, whereas instead of like you see an act just going through, it's like this act was lots of little tiny acts going on. And it wasn't really heavy in plot details, but as far as the structure was concerned, there was a lot of mini writing going on here. Which
it was an extremely simple story told in a very complex way.
I love that. Yeah. I think that's so cool.
Like there was so little dialogue in the movie.
Yeah.
And even the character development of the two in their relationship was almost done non-verbally, like completely non-verbally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I totally bought into their love. I felt his pain as he watched her burn, and
totally. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I thought there was this interesting piece of foreshadowing that made me think of this cool idea of like it was the scene when Nick Cage is talking to Mandy, and Nick brings up he's like maybe we should move, and like I don't feel safe here, kind of a thing. And you can see that there was like a little bit of a conflict there, like she doesn't want to move, and I liked that little hint at maybe like they don't always agree, maybe it's not always super romantic or whatever, maybe they have some conflicts, there's some, just as any relationship would have, instead of going hard on like, oh, I love you so much, so that way when she does die, it's like it feels like the obvious thing to do if you're going to have a character die is to show how much they love each other. Instead of doing that, it felt like he was showing a real relationship
Yeah.
in which
Yeah.
I liked that. I thought
Yeah.
that was kind of refreshing.
Yeah, refreshing to have good writing.
Yeah, to have a good writing. You know?
Yeah, that's always refreshing, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. It's interesting. This reminds me of both A Ghost Story and Death Wish when you're talking about the relationships. Yeah, with Death Wish, they're just like, hey, isn't it great that this family loves each other? Everything's so great. And in A Ghost Story was everything like, well, it's a couple and they're together, but they, kind of hate what's going on. But A Ghost Story had so much more empathy than Death Wish. Death Wish felt like a commercial.
Yeah. Speaking of commercials, Cheddar Gremlin.
So, Goblin.
Cheddar Goblin. Yeah.
That was
Holy
amazing.
cow. And that's my favorite piece of stupid trivia from this movie is that one, the Cheddar Goblin commercial was directed by the same guy who made Too Many Cooks.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Was that a real commercial?
No, it was made for this movie.
Okay, because it looked like it was made for the movie.
And when he went and spoke to that other dude at his trailer and the guy gave him the crossbow, there were boxes of Cheddar Gremlin mac and cheese on the shelves.
That's funny. I didn't see that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Which is a very Tarantino thing.
Yeah,
too, to
that
have,
is.
like,
yeah.
That's really cool.
Right.
Something that I like always with anything that's really, really good. I feel like it could be a little bit better if it did whatever different. And to me, it felt like it would have been better if they in the end the what was the I can't remember exactly what I was going to say. It was during the end.
Could have made the end just a little bit better if they did something.
They did something.
If only they made it better.
That's what it was. This movie I feel like takes itself very seriously, and it's really cool because of that. Like, I think that's how Grindhouse kind of works, right? Where you take a ridiculous thing and you set it to a very serious tone. And it makes it both grounded and dreamlike in the same sense, or at least it feels that way to me. And I felt like this movie was like swimming in both of those areas, this kind of surreal, kind of dreamlike, also really grounded timeline that seemed to be very working very well for it. Up until the end, it seemed like the end they just kind of went, okay, you know what? Let's go crazy.
Fuck
right? Let's
it.
have
Let's have
an extra long chainsaw, and let's have it where he just throws the axe and just lands on the dude's head. Like, it's cool stuff, but I mean, it's like, I wish he kind of held it back just a little bit. But
I like that they went there. I think the actual production execution of those last action scenes could have been done a little bit better. They felt a little cheap, in a
tiny bit,
just a little bit. And that's pretty much one of my only qualms with it. But yeah, I can
imagine
feel that.
Though how much cheaper they would have felt if they were in a straight-laced action movie as opposed to a highly stylized surrealist film.
Oh yeah, this movie does such a good job at not showing its scale.
Its hand.
Yeah, not showing its hand of how big the production is or anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think because we're like constantly kept in this almost dreamlike state, cross between surrealism and psychedelic, drug enhanced psychedelic, right? A cheesy effect fits
Totally.
or even a kind of a clumsy put together fight scene.
It also fits in exactly with Grindhouse.
Yeah,
Grindhouse was all about low budget.
What's funny is this seems so much more. This movie feels so much more highbrow than anything that's been called Grindhouse.
Totally, yeah. It's literally like a highbrow, high art Grindhouse movie.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
and it pulls it off.
Grindhouse.
Totally does. I love the last shot where it's the car driving up, and then they have like a full on fantasy epic skyline.
He's like in
Yeah.
another world.
With 2 moons. And,
He's riding out of hell itself.
Yeah. That's where I got the Doom vibes from. Was like they kept coming with this heavy metal with like crazy otherworldly visuals, and I kept getting Doom from that.
Well, a lot of heavy metal album covers have this. It was like all over this movie.
Totally. The Mandy title reveal is straight up a metal.
It was awesome.
Metal band logo, dude.
All of them.
55 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, it's so awesome. I love that, dude. That's so great.
It felt like it was split into chapters, but I like how each chapter was its own title reveal.
Yeah. I like that too. Yeah.
And completely aesthetically different too. Like
3 short films.
Oh man, there was a shot just before. 3 short films. There was a shot just before the title reveal of Children of the New Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
The shot of Mandy where they were like overlaying the same shot of her walking past the bus. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was wild.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And where they stopped on her when she was like right here, this edge of the frame.
Yeah.
And her eyes looked completely black, and they just stayed on that still, just a still of her for like 5 seconds.
Yeah,
and I was like,
freeze frame.
This is crazy.
Yeah, I know. That actually kind of spooked me a little bit.
Yeah, it was spooky.
That was weird. It had a good effect.
Yeah.
Another really strange effect I haven't seen used this way was when the cult leader, Jeremiah, Mandy is tripping out and brought to him the first time. And then the cult leader comes right up in her face and goes a super long monologue, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a close-up on his face.
Oh, yeah, they transformed.
They subtly blend Mandy's face and his face.
Yeah.
Really subtly and slowly.
Yeah.
So that it makes you second guess what you're looking at.
Yeah, you don't really realize it at first.
Yeah, it really messed with my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a really unsettling effect.
Yeah. I feel like the person who edited got that thought from like switching cameras.
Like, we're like, it's the same shot. I might as well just
blend it. Yeah. That was really trippy.
That was that was actually one of the most trippy things I've experienced in a movie. Because it actually tripped me out. Like I was like, whoa, am I losing it here?
Right. Yeah, that
whole sequence is insane. With the music he plays. Yeah. And all the visuals, and then when he exposes himself and she laughs at him.
Yeah.
Right.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So when he said I forgot what's Nick's character's name?
Red.
When Red goes to the trailer of his friend, he says Mandy was kidnapped by Jesus freaks. And I didn't get it until afterwards that they were all like super godly people or something like that. I didn't understand that in the beginning. It seemed like they were just an evil cult.
Well, they are an evil cult.
So they are an evil cult. But I mean, like, it's cool to.
Jesus freaks often means evil cult.
Yeah, they could be synonymous.
I like the writing where they position traditionally good people in a very evil aspect, and I really like that because traditionally Christians are good people, but when you put them into this kind of cult-like thing, they become evil. But I didn't understand that they were even followers of Christ. Like it just looked like a regular demented movie cult to me. I didn't see any ideology behind any of them besides his name.
And he wore a crucifix.
It was pretty loosely based on Manson.
Yeah.
And his
I heard
he used a lot of the same words. He was a musician. Yeah.
Who got offended when you didn't like his music.
Yeah.
I loved that scene where she said, You wrote the song? And it's about you?
And the way he hypes it up too, he's like this is my favorite album of all time or whatever, is this and this, and it's so good, and this one is even better. And he plays his own music.
Yeah.
He's so egotistical. The most narcissistic possible person.
Yeah.
He was really well written.
He was.
The cult leader. Really? I love that he had like those moments where he broke. He looks in the mirror and he's crying, and then he's like, snap out of it, Yeah,
he's like, give me an answer.
And then, he quickly falls to his knees and it's like, don't hurt me. at the end.
Yeah, dude, that I love that part because
Me too.
he's like playing every card he has. Like he's trying
Yeah.
to trick in the book to
And
try
then he goes back. He goes back
He goes
into
back, yeah.
I
Yeah.
kneel before no one, the whole
Yeah.
thing, you know. So
I'll suck your dick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
So
just thinking,
Mandy's
what
like
if
really strong.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
girl.
Oh no, not Mandy. Red.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Red
Oh,
is
yeah,
Just
I mean, because in Game of Thrones that could only be done by a very big man.
Yeah.
right.
Big man.
He just full on.
Well, I felt like Red,
Never
like
seen
at one
that.
point when he tasted the jar full of goo.
Yeah, he went
Like-
into another state.
Yeah, I felt like it was it was implied that he just drank the whole thing and then he was like Superman after that.
I
That's what
laughed
I imagined.
so
anyway.
hard when he picked up the glass and snorted all the cocaine.
That
Yeah,
was funny.
That made me laugh so hard.
I love the shot after he comes out of that building and drinks the goo or just tastes the
Yeah.
goo, and then sees the guy by the fire, shoots him with the bow and arrow, and the guy just pulls the arrow through his chest or through his throat or whatever.
yeah, and he's
I was
just
like,
"Ugh."
what is happening?
My most laugh out loud moment was when the dude that cut his shirt comes back and then Red snaps his neck.
Mhm.
And when he snaps his neck, he does like this. He's like, ha!
That was really funny.
Yeah.
Crazy face he makes.
Yeah, he's like, like he's a martial arts. You know, he's like a ninja who's been
Right.
doing this his whole life.
um,
And
So
also, what the hell kind of boring, mundane pornography was that guy watching?
That was
yeah,
hilarious.
it's pretty vanilla
For like
Probably
20 minutes.
for a demonic cult.
That was
In a
hilarious.
world-
Chilling.
In a world where kids watch commercials of a barfing goblin barfing up their macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, that
Um,
was hilarious.
How about that completely meaningless tiger?
oh yeah, that's right.
That
Yeah.
tiger had no
That
meaning.
scene actually kind of tripped me up a little
Yeah.
bit. Not in a good way either. Like the scene. I love every aesthetic. I think about this entire movie, and I love the aesthetics of that scene and
I like
the
that
tiger.
the tiger was there,
Yeah,
but I felt like that scene was definitely the lowest point of the movie.
yeah, I didn't like. I don't know. I wish like the guy
Well-
was maybe one of the other guys. You know, then it would have tied it together.
Here's a
somehow.
little background, because you know I do my homework, unlike some people. Anyway,
D. I did my
D.
homework too.
yeah, I know Taylor does his homework. I was talking about D.
Thank you.
All right. Originally, Lizzie was a lizard. It's gonna be a lizard named Lizzie, and it wasn't that big of a deal. It's just a lizard.
All right.
And then they had an opportunity that just kind of came upon them to have access to a tiger. And so
It's
the
so funny 'cause
actor,
that's what it looks like.
yeah, I know. So the actor shows up on set,
Even the
and
cage.
the director is like, "Okay, so everything's ready to go. Oh, and Lizzie is a tiger now." And he's like, "What?" And that was it. So yeah, I think it was
It's
literally
it's
like,
just meant to be a pet, just an off, kind of like a one-off pet thing.
yeah,
It's hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
Well, so that guy who looked like a mad scientist kind of dude, what?
he was the cook.
Yeah, he's making acid.
He was cooking the drugs.
Yeah.
That was
He
their
was the
lab.
cook. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why
I
the
understand.
tiger was there, I don't know.
I don't know.
Wait,
That
what
was
did he
good.
say? He said, "When she's calm, it's good," or something like that.
Yeah. But when he released the tiger, I'm like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have a Nick Cage versus tiger
First
moment.
tiger.
But the tiger's just like, I'm out of here.
Just runs off.
Just leaves. Dude, I loved the chainsaw fight so much.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty insane.
Yeah.
It's like it's not. It was at that moment that I was thinking about what was it? Other movies that have done this but worse, which is every movie. now.
Every movie,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah. John Wick. How John Wick is on this revenge scheme and he's just shooting bad guys left and right. But we never get to a really cool him versus somebody else moment. It's always just, he's dodging bullets and now he's shooting someone else. The chainsaw fight was like, it's not just I have a chainsaw and you have a bigger one. One of us cuts the other person open. It was
it was a sword fight.
It's a choreographed battle.
It was a volley over and over.
Yeah.
You're winning now. I'm winning now. You're winning. And I wish someone like John Wick had that in its movie. I wish most movies had that.
Yeah, that was great. I think
also
that's something
earned that scene too.
Absolutely.
I think that's something that's missing from all movies that are based on people with guns.
Yeah. That's actually personally something I want to do. I want to shoot a scene like that feels like it's a real earned moment. That's two people actually colliding and not just a simple pop.
The falling on the chainsaw bit was I thought could have been a little better.
I thought both of you
wanted
were
a more
say
gruesome death for him.
It seemed a little
As soon as I saw him fall on that, I was like, Taylor's gonna say this is too vanilla now.
Not enough blood.
That part could have. I mean, it's a chainsaw.
I mean, what can you say
fight.
though? Yeah,
I expect a little more out of a chainsaw.
No, I agree.
Some limbs getting cut off.
What's funny when he comes around the corner and he sees the chainsaw, and he puts down his battle axe and picks up the chainsaw, and I think, in hand-to-hand combat, his battle axe would be better. But okay, let's just see what happens.
It's a chainsaw,
and the other guy pulls out a chainsaw, a bigger one. And then I'm like, his battle axe would have gone straight through that guy's chainsaw and ended this like immediately. Oh well.
That scene, I read that they only had one night to shoot that whole scene.
Wow. Yeah, and apparently it was like bad weather and
and it was like a nightmare.
Jeez, man.
Yeah,
that turned out really well.
Yeah,
that's
for crazy. One day.
Amazing.
Well,
48 hours.
It was like for 48 hours. I mean. No, the fight seemed good. Like it seemed.
It was. Yeah, it was good.
That's pretty cool.
So when the cult guys, not like when the main guy sends two other guys out into the woods to call for the black skulls. Was that what they were called?
Yeah.
With
his pipe.
Yeah. So So the horn, right? That's Abraxas. It's the horn of Abraxas. Yeah. And so I looked up Abraxas, and that's a demon. There's a demon named Abraxas.
Oh, okay.
It's an occult figure.
So the Black Skulls, is that just like some gang?
Guess so.
So it sounds hard, dude. It sounds like there's a drug operation that the Black Skulls are affiliated with, and they were given some laced LSD or something that made them go crazy, and they just collaborate with this cult because the cult's bringing them blood for blood, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So they're like constantly having a bad trip.
So those guys are evil, while the cult believes themselves righteous,
right?
But they call upon these demonic bikers to help them when needed.
I love all.
Dude, the guy that had rebarb all over his that dude was terrifying.
That was insane. That whole sequence, like watching it for the first time when like the bikes come in, I'm like,
what movie is this?
Yeah, I was like, what is going on here? What is happening?
Yeah. That's what was
Why is it so awesome?
This film kept elevating what kind of movie we were watching. It didn't let you know at the beginning. It started off one way and it just kept upping the ante.
To me, it felt it definitely in that respect. I think it did keep upping the ante. You know how I am with like projected definition. Like if there's a movie that starts out a single way and then it goes into a different way, that it makes me kind of not like the movie.
Yeah.
I feel like this one described what it was going to be almost immediately. Like the pink and red scene that was just completely pink and red, the whole thing just color graded to hell. And it looked crazy. And they have like these single shots that are just single shot. Like when Mandy's talking about her what happened to her when she had her dad killed starlings in front of her.
Mm.
Like that single shot that was just a very slow dolly shot, and it never cut. I was like, this is crazy. Like this, you've now set me into a world that I'm now going to expect going forward, and it completely worked for me.
It gelled. Yeah.
Yeah, like even though it like technically wasn't going insane for the first like half hour, 35 minutes, it definitely was still very psychedelic and pretty
Yeah.
weird. Yeah.
It was it set the tone completely.
It built an aesthetic.
I really like that about this movie, not just the tone itself, but like the setting of the tone is perfect throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it has one cohesive aesthetic,
That's
both
true.
visually
Yeah.
and tone wise.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a masterful atmosphere created.
Yeah, like the director knew exactly what to do.
Oh yeah.
Except for when it came to designing a church, he didn't know what to do, and so he borrowed one from Ari.
Yeah, triangle.
That was the same exact church.
Yeah.
A year before Midsummer.
He borrowed it from Ari. So Ari made it first.
No, Ari made it in the treetops.
Oh.
Yeah, it was the
They
treehouse
borrowed
first.
the same one.
Yeah.
That's right.
Treehouse. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Wait, so did Ari copy his own work
Yes.
for Midsummer?
Yep.
Yes, he makes triangle-shaped buildings.
Okay.
That is a motif in his work now.
Wow.
At least 2 movies in a row.
And Midsummer has ends with a triangle wooden building owned by a cult burning down, and Midsummer ends with a triangle wooden building owned by a cult burning down.
Coincidence? Yes.
Totally
Yeah.
coincidence.
Yes.
What do you bet that his next movie will be? This is we're talking about Ari. That his next movie will be defined as a horror film by everyone else,
And he's just going to be
sure.
it won't.
even
be at
though
all.
he'll
Yeah.
insist it's not.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it was a comedy, guys.
Probably it'll probably be a drama, and it'll probably be like just the most fucked up drama imaginable. And I'd be like, oh, it's horror.
Sign me up.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yes.
And
definitely.
speaking of, I think this Panos is his name. Panos. He has a crazy name.
He has a crazy name, yeah.
Cosmeticos.
Yeah.
Cosmaticos.
Yeah, something like that. His dad directed Tombstone, which is interesting.
Really?
And
Yeah.
he worked in the electrical department.
For that movie. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Mandy.
I don't know, man. I hope he makes another movie, because I'll watch anything this guy makes
Panos,
Yeah.
yeah.
just off of this movie.
Yeah, seriously. This movie is insane.
Yeah.
This.
Oh wait, did you watch his other
it's like-
film
No,
already?
I want to watch it.
Yeah, so we
It came
gotta
out in
watch that.
2010.
Yeah,
So
that's a long time
big
ago.
gap
Have
between
you
the
seen
first
it,
movie
Kenny?
and the second movie.
No, I haven't yet.
We should
do
make
Talkies.
that our next one.
I started watching shows on Quibi, and they're terrible.
Quibi?
What is the Quibi?
That's the Steven Soderbergh short film. Well, short sub. I don't even know what to call it. Mini episode
Right.
app.
New structure.
And
new
so
format.
far, I think it's bollocks.
Awesome. Good. That's good news for us, because we're gonna make that app and it's gonna be better.
We'll make a far better app.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Spoilers for another thing we haven't made yet.
I watched a bunch of interviews with Panos
Yeah.
last night after I watched the movie, and he definitely is like, he seemed to really struggle getting his first movie made, and he took a really long time with Mandy because he specifically he wanted to have creative control over the film, and so he just took his time shipping, talking to companies and all that, and going with whatever one would be the best for him.
Well, for a movie like this, he got connected to the right producer
Elijah Wood.
in Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
Who,
Yeah.
and Nick Cage, they originally wanted Nick Cage to play
Samuel.
yeah,
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah. Yeah,
Yeah.
He would have done good as Jeremiah too, I think.
totally.
It definitely would have.
Who was there anyone else they originally wanted for Red?
They wanted someone younger.
No.
That's what
Should have been John Krasinski.
That's kind of weird. I don't know. I don't know if I'm down with that.
I wonder how that would seem. I want to see John Krasinski in a high art film. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Wait, are you saying Quiet Place isn't high art? That movie has a 95 Rotten Tomato.
Does it really?
Certified fresh. It's in the 90s, I think.
That's crazy. That's not that good.
No, it's
not. What about Evans? Captain America.
He would be pretty cool.
I could see that.
I like Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. He could have done it.
Yeah, he could have.
Yeah.
He kind of channeled that energy in Snowpiercer.
Yeah, he did.
Oh yeah, he did. Well, I was thinking about this the other day. I couldn't think of anyone good, but yeah, I like him better. Chris Evans, that'd be good.
Was Mandy commercially successful? Do we know?
I heard a lot of buzz from it from when it aired at Cannes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've just heard a ton of buzz. Critical reception's been great.
It didn't have a theatrical release.
Oh, okay.
So
it was.
I would have loved to seen this in the theater.
Yeah.
The reverb alone, it would have been amazing to experience.
Yeah. At first, I was watching it with my earbuds, and it wasn't working. I had to go to full-on headphones because it was it's like
yeah. I'm glad I decided to watch it not on this that I'm using right now, but on my TV.
I projected it. Boom.
Dang.
Yeah, you got the crazy setup.
I just want to say,
please
say. I hope he makes another movie. I'm kind of worried that he won't, because of opportunities, and his first movie wasn't like super well received, and the huge time gap in between, and then this movie coming out and not really being financially successful, though critical. So it'll be like a cult film. I want him to make another movie. I hope he gets the opportunity to do that.
Yeah. I feel like this is an odd film in the type of movie it is, right? Like an Ari movie is just mainstream enough to be accepted and enjoyed by pretty broad audiences,
right?
Where I think this crosses the line where
it's a little more experimental.
Yeah, I think a lot of mainstream audiences wouldn't
totally
put up with
I don't know. I mean, I totally know what you mean, but I don't know. I feel like it's just borderline enough to be enjoyed by everybody. I don't know. I'm thinking if Ari
surprised
can make it,
you liked it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's gotten amazing reviews. I've never heard anyone talk bad about it.
Yeah, same here.
But like, it's 2020 right now, and Mandy came out in 2018, and there hasn't been any word about a new project he's done.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything listed as in development or anything.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, I do hope he makes.
He might have COVID though. If he has COVID, then
he's done.
That would explain it.
Yeah, he's done for, right?
Yeah, he won't have a career after that.
Yeah.
Once you become untouchable, you're just out. Once you've had COVID.
Yeah.
In 75 theaters, it made $225,000.
It says the budget was $6 million, and on the Google thing, it just says 1.4 million right there.
Ooh, so that's probably from
loss.
Rentals and stuff.
Yeah.
In addition to the 200,000 from theaters. Yeah, that sucks.
Oof. Yeah, I hope he makes another one.
Well, if Denis can make no money from Blade Runner and then get to make
Dune.
2 huge Dune movies, then anything can happen.
Have they greenlit 2 Dune movies?
I guess like soft. I don't know if the second one is official. They're probably gonna I think they're planning on it. They're anticipating that it's gonna be successful. I don't know. I'm not a studio exec there. I don't know what they're talking about. You
are a studio exec though.
Here.
That's true.
In the home at the home of Carmen Line.
This is actually my favorite kind of movie under one category. My favorite category of films are the ones that make me want to get up and go make a movie. Because the whole time that I'm watching this film, not only does it just jive with my sensibility for the kind of movie making I want to do, but it all looked like stuff we could do right now. Like everything I saw on the screen, I'm like, we could do that. We could do that. We could totally do that.
Yeah.
I get those feelings from other movies, but I totally know what you mean. With this movie, I keep finding out that I'm actually really into Grindhouse. Like I haven't seen many Grindhouse movies, and after watching, what was it that we like, Overlord, and this one, I'm just like, I dig this genre. This is my kind of stuff.
Have you ever seen Death Proof?
Mm-mm.
You should watch it then.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
I've been told I need to watch the Grindhouse
underrated
duo.
Underrated Tarantino is Death Proof.
So I've heard.
What was the other half of Grindhouse? There was Death Proof and
Planet Terror.
Planet
Terror.
Yeah, Robert is Rodriguez. Yeah,
and it feels every bit Robert Rodriguez.
Yes, yeah. It does. Yeah, me too, Kenny. This movie, it makes me want to do everything. I just want to do this movie.
Oh, let's get our government stimulus money and make a movie.
Oh, dude I love that idea.
The look of this movie is actually the look of the gun scene I wanted to film.
Oh yeah,
when I brought that up, yeah, it's actually
exactly
like almost exactly similar, yeah, except with an '80s soundtrack instead of a rock.
Right.
Look, my eyes are bright if I do this. Now you can see my eyes.
Damn, that's cool.
Boom. That's offensive.
Look, I'm Han Solo.
Dang. That guy you juked like Solo.
I'm Han Solo.
Juking like Solo.
Han Solo.
If we could all synchronize it. Oh, wow. Wow, we've been cooped up too long.
Hey, besides a pizza with blood all over it, what is this movie if it was a pizza?
Pizza with blood all over it.
I said besides that.
Pizza with blood all over it?
Besides that.
It's a pizza.
Oh. It's a pizza.
Yeah, it's I'll make it simple. It's a pizza so good that you're like, if I knew I was getting pizza like this every time, it's all I would eat.
Wow.
Damn.
I couldn't eat this pizza over and over and over.
I feel it.
I love this pizza, but I gotta have my Nolans and my Finchers and my Denise.
You don't need them anymore.
No,
this movie, you don't need them anymore.
They are obsolete. They're irrelevant. I don't need them. If this guy and Ari kept making movies, they switch off every 2 months.
2 months?
2 months.
Yeah. If they were funded, they could do it. I know they could. I wouldn't need to see anything else. That'd be fine.
This pizza is like, my friend says, hey, do you want a pizza? And I'm like, yeah, this pizza sounds good. And so he goes to get the pizza, and like, I'm imagining he's just going to go to this, Caesar's, whatever, and bring it back. And so that's what I imagine he does, but he brings it out the box and I'm not even sure what it is. I'm just like, okay, yeah, pizza. And I go and take a bite. I'm just like, where did you find this? And he's like, no, it's just that, that place down there, Luigi's.
That death cult.
Yeah. And it's amazing. And I want this some more, but then they close down.
Oh.
So I never get to eat this again.
They closed down.
Yeah.
May come back, maybe not. No one
maybe,
knows.
Not sure.
Because it turns out no one else bought the pizza.
Yeah, it's because no one tried this before. So
yeah.
Sad.
Because they went all in on a poster that just showed a picture of crazy Nick Cage.
People are kind of tired of crazy Nick Cage.
Yeah, they're like, okay, another crazy Nick Cage movie.
It's funny is the first half of this movie, Nick Cage is really subdued.
Yeah.
He's still overacted.
Totally.
Like, I mean, in good ways too. But
sure,
I mean,
he just happened to be in a movie where it works.
I feel like it was just made for him. Like he knew exactly how to use Nicolas Cage in a movie. Like he's not trying to like. I never felt like this movie was trying to make me believe that it's red rather than Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like it totally embraced the fact that it's Nicolas
Nick.
Cage.
His name should just be
Embrace-
Nick.
Nick, yeah,
Embrace the
That's
cage.
yeah.
That's
My
great.
pizza for this movie is an excellent, get this, deep dish pizza with the best sauce ever. Just the best pizza sauce around. It's kind of spicy,
Mm.
It's all over your face.
deep, rich. It's all over your face. It's a
How
very
you like
deep,
this?
deep, rich flavor. Do pepperonis go on deep dish?
Yes.
They do on this one.
Several
They do on this
several levels of them.
They
Yeah.
float on the top.
Yeah. There's some amazing deep dish. Pepperonis on there. Just the freshest ingredients, all around. Excellent pizza.
Hell yeah.
Hearty, thick. Thick.
Mm.
Eek pizza. Eek.
That guy, the cult member who is always like,
Dude, the rolling down the window bit was so funny.
yeah. That guy was born for that role.
Yeah.
Imagine him in anything else.
Dude, the humor in this film I thought was amazingly paced.
Yeah.
Like,
Totally.
just perfectly placed. Just wanted to put that out there.
Dude, how about the giant wasp in the jar?
That was
And
awesome.
that, yeah.
The cherry on top.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That was wild.
That close up tilts up.
Kenny.
Huh?
There it is.
Oh, you're back. Sorry. Oh.
I can't even do that face. He's like showing whites of under his eyes too.
Yeah, he's got some big eyes. It's amazing that he got so caked in viscera and kept his teeth so clean.
Yeah. That's what disturbs me about this picture. It's the white. It's like you
Yeah.
can see his eyes and his teeth like that. It's like, oh. He like looks. I thought that scene was actually hilarious. He like looks over
Yeah.
and Mandy's there. He's like, he's kind of like sad first. He sees Mandy, and then just cuts to this
Yeah.
slut.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
it's Mandy, my love.
I'm so happy that I saw Color Out of Space first, because this movie makes that one look like just
It's
pure
sad.
garbage. Yeah. It's crazy.
This movie makes a lot of
They're
movies
nothing
feel sad.
alike, but I just mean it's just because that they do similar things as well.
Right.
It just reminds me of them. So
What about the animated scenes?
That was awesome.
love 100%.
Wasn't that
love.
great?
Yeah, that was
Yes.
great. Also
And
reminded me of Heavy Metal, not the genre, but the movie.
Yeah.
It's also what most cartoons looked like in the early 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the face melting.
Oh, yeah.
I love the heart that she's just drooling in like green blood. That was
So
amazing.
do you think that was Mandy like in the afterlife still like trying to like do mystical spiritual things to affect the waking world?
Well,
That makes
yes,
sense.
I think that was obvious.
Okay, so that's what you got from that?
No, not at all.
Okay. What did you get from that? Because that's what I got from it.
Well, they just seem to be Red dreaming of
Oh
Mandy.
yeah, it could be dreams.
And
That's how
it's always when he's sleeping.
Yeah, that's true.
But he's dreaming within the context of her world. Like she's creating that crazy art and reading the books,
Right.
the novels.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
love
where I'm
those.
from.
That's the true Mandy. That's
Yeah.
the Mandy that he sees.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I like this idea that she like brought upon the apocalypse, where like she like those animated scenes is her like in hell, like raging war, and then at the end she does something that makes hell collide with Earth, and that's why we get that starscape at the end.
Oh my.
That's what I thought about.
That's interesting. Your mind, man. You got some imagination there.
Dude, that
Wow.
cabin that they lived in
Face.
with all the windows on the front was freaking cool.
Yeah.
That little like glass nook that they sleep in.
I didn't even see any buildings in this
Comfy place.
movie. All I saw was red and pink and Nick.
That building was amazing.
I don't remember the building.
It was cool. Except
What
it
was
had
it?
an absurdly large bathroom that had to have been a set. God, like what? I can't imagine a bathroom where the toilet and sink are this far apart from each other.
They should be far apart.
Cross contamination. I like to wash my hands while I go to the bathroom.
I loved
Just get ahead of
the
it, you know.
shot.
Stay ahead.
I loved that shot.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that was when she was walking through the woods and found the dead dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
Yeah. Didn't you see the dead dinosaur on the ground?
I thought that was a doe.
No, dude, that was not a deer. Not a female deer.
That's what it
I
looked
don't
like.
remember what it was.
Oh, maybe there's nothing dead in that forest and we both just...
Maybe it was a pile of leaves.
Maybe you guys were tripping because of the movie.
We're just tripping.
We were just
The
totally
movie.
tripping.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a dead dinosaur in there.
This movie gets you high.
It felt
Yes.
that way. I haven't felt that tripped out since Climax.
For
Climax
me, it was
messed with
Mother.
me. Mother?
Yeah, Mother did the same thing to me that this movie did.
I don't know. Mother didn't make me feel like I was on drugs. Mother made me feel like I was literally having those experiences.
Climax made me
And
feel
that
like
they
I was
were
on
real.
drugs. But
Yeah.
this one made me feel, I don't know, this one felt like a comic book that I was just in the artist's
It's like
mind,
doing
as Caleb would
shrooms
say.
and then reading a comic book.
Yeah.
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 Which is
There you
way
go.
cheaper than making this movie.
Dude, we should just do that.
Yeah. $6 million.
That's
on.
egregious. Oh my god.
What a waste.
Well, apparently his first movie, he kind of thinks of the Mandy and the Rainbow one as companion pieces.
They take place in the same year.
They take place the same year, and apparently it's like the introverted opposite of Mandy. Whereas like he said that Mandy was the answer to the other movie, where it was, he says that the Black Rainbow was very introverted, small,
it's like
and
poetry.
slow-paced. Yeah, so they rhyme.
They
And then
rhyme.
he said he wrote Mandy simultaneously as something to
He's like
be the
typing on two
antithesis to
typewriters.
yeah,
at
at the same exact time.
He's like
Yeah,
simultaneously writing.
he wanted something where he could just go crazy.
That sounds like a drug trip.
Yeah,
I want to see that the movie now.
I
So
do
do I.
too.
we'll do it at some point. I think.
Yeah.
Are we done?
I think we're done here.
Yep. Goodbye.